Welcome to the castle, everybody. This is Nightsaber Z42, and this is Character Vault, where I go through the whole process of creating a character from start to finish in various different RPG books. And today we're going to be creating a character for Blade Runner, the role-playing game. So I have here the core rulebook. If you only have the starter set, you will not be able to create a character because the rulebook in that starter set doesn't have any information on the archetypes or anything like that. It's expected that you're just going to be playing through the adventures and you're given characters through there. So you will need the core rulebook in order to create characters for Blade Runner, the role-playing game. I also have the printer-friendly version of the character sheet here, which looks like a lot of stuff. So we'll be taking a look at that. You will also need some dice if you plan on rolling things randomly like I am. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and open this book up and see what there is to be seen. We'll need to go to page 25 for information on character creation. And so look at that. I mean, I really love the artwork in the Alien books, and this is pretty much the same. I mean, it's just gorgeous. So, page 26 has the process of creating your PC. So first thing that we're going to do is choose or roll if we're going to be a human or a replicant. Choose or roll for your Blade Runner archetype, which is pretty much the same as your class. Choose or roll for your years on the Force. Depending on how old you are or how long you've been on the Force will determine how many skill points you get or how many specialties you get. Then we'll determine your attributes. We'll calculate health and resolve from those attributes. Then we get to choose our skills, choose or roll for your starting specialties, choose or roll for your key memory, choose or roll for your key relationship, get your standard issue gear, choose or roll for your signature item, choose or roll for your appearance, your name, and then roll for your home or describe it yourself, and then get to cracking some cases. So lots of different things there. So first thing we're going to do is roll a d6 to see if we're going to be a replicant or a human. And I've got the official Blade Runner dice here, which actually looks pretty cool when it's taken out of the package. So d6, are we human or replicant? We are human. That little origami symbol is a 1, so we are human to start with. So we will write that on our we'll mark that down on our character, which means I can actually choose a name now that I know that I'm human. But I'm going to do that a little bit later. I like to do that as part of my final last steps there. Next thing we're going to do is choose our archetype, and we get to roll a d12 for that. Now, the cool thing about these archetypes, let's go ahead and take a look at them while we're here. Two of them, I think, are human only. 2 or 3 are human only. I think there's one that is replicant only. So we have the analyst, a master of the crime lab, streetwise hunch chaser with their VK briefcases and blasters are the past. That sounded weird. Anyway, their key attribute is intelligence, and their key skills are observation, medical aid, and tech. Then we have the city speaker. Speak long enough to the city, it speaks back to you. You've got rats in every gutter, pigeons on every rooftop, and urchins in every port. Their key attribute is empathy, but their skills are mobility, connections, and insight. Then we have the doxy. You always know what to say. Body language, eye contact, vocal tones, body temperature, pulse rate, even scent. Every detail, another window into your subject's state of mind. Their key attribute is agility, with their skills being hand-to-hand combat, mobility, and manipulation. We have the enforcer. You've seen things most people wouldn't believe. A few tours in the off-world colonization defense program put you in every shit-tastic situation conceivable. Their key attribute is strength, of course, with skills being hand-to-hand combat, stamina, and firearms. Then we have the fixer. Some call you a career politician, others a political crusader. You don't care what they think. You work the system and you never play nice, though everybody knows to play nice with you. Their key attribute is empathy. Their skills are connections, manipulation, and insight. Then we have the inspector. You're the quintessential marshal, torn from time immemorial of trench coat wearing, liquor drinking, bullet slinging bastards and bulldozers who can strut into the meanest bar, the darkest alley, and everybody knows the law just walked in. And means business. Their key attribute is agility, with skills being firearms, observation, and connections. Then we have the skimmer. Everybody but you knows that you're more kipple than cop. There's so much dirt under your nails, getting clean is an act of futility, naivety. Screw 'em, let 'em talk. If internal affairs could get you, they'd have cuffed you by now. Fact is, they need you. Key attribute for the skimmer is empathy, with skills being firearms, connections, and manipulations. So we're going to roll a d12 and see what we get for the human side of things. We have a 1. So we are an analyst. Wow, the one thing that I didn't really want. But that's okay. We're going to go ahead and write analyst on our archetype, on our character sheet. And then we're going to move on to the next thing, which is to see how many years we've been on the force. So there's another separate table for years on the force. Now there are 4 different tiers of years on the force, I guess. So you have rookies, which is from 0 to 1 years. They get +4 attributes, +8 skill points, no specialties, and D3 promotion points to start with. But they also get -1 Chinyen Points. And Chinyen Points are basically the currency that you can spend on bribes and things like that. Then you have a seasoned, who's been in on the force for 2 to 7 years. They get +3 attributes, +10 skill points, 1 specialty, and D6 promotion points, and no Chinyen points. The veteran has been on the force for 8 to 15 years with +2 attributes, +12 skills, 2 specialties, D8 promotion points, and +1 Chinyen point. Last but not least is the old timer. They've been on the force for 16 or plus years. Attribute of +1, skills +14, 3 specialties, and D10 promotion points, but +2 Chinyen points. Now it should be worth noting that this whole setting takes place in LA of 2037, and so replicants, or the N9 replicants, the ones that are allowed to join the LAPD or the RDU, have only been around for 1 year, so they will start off as rookies. So let's roll a d12 and see how many years we've been on the force. 2. Wow. So we are a rookie. We're a rookie dude. So we're going to say that we've been on the force for about 1 year. So not totally like completely noob level, but we are kind of getting up there. Next, we need to determine our attributes. So starting attributes. When you create your Blade Runner, you start with a baseline of C in all 4 attributes. You may then make a number of increases as indicated by your number of years on the force. An increase is always 1 step, like from C to B or B to A. So we have, I believe, +4. I believe our key attribute needs to be at least B level or higher. And our key attribute for the analyst is intelligence. So we're going to go ahead and make that at least B level. So that's 1. Strength, I think I'm going to keep as C. Now you do have the option of lowering one or an attribute down to D level to get an extra point, but I don't think I'm going to do that here. Instead, I want strength to be at C level for sure. I want agility to be at B level. I want intelligence at A level, and then I want empathy at B level, which means I guess driving is going to stay at C level. Now, don't forget your level is tied, or your rating is tied to the dice that you roll for your skill checks and stuff like that. So D level would be a D6, C would be a D8, B would be D10, and level A would be rolling of a D12. So there is also that. So our health is basically the sum of the dice size for strength and agility divided by 4. So strength is at a D8, while agility is at a D10. So 18 divided by 4, which would be 4, rounding up would be 5. So we have a health score of 5. The same would be said for resolve. Resolve is going to be the sum of the die size for intelligence and empathy divided by 4, rounding up. So a D10 and a D12, so 22 divided by 4, which would be about 6. Next, we get to choose our skills. So when you create a character, you start with a baseline of D in all skills. You may then make a number of increases depending on your number of years on the force. These increases work just like for starting attributes, but you have more of them, and for skills, more years. And for skills, more years on the force give you more increases instead of less. That is a sentence that really jumbles the mind. You can assign skill levels in any way you want, but all of the key skills listed by your archetype must be at level C or higher. You can increase your skill levels during the game, of course, by getting promotion points and whatnot. So let's go ahead and take a look at the analyst. The analyst has a key skill of observation and medical aid and tech. I believe I get 8 skill points. So I definitely want... Well, actually, I want observation to be at A for sure. So that gives me 6 more points. Sorry, going from levels D to A would cost me 3 points, leaving me with 5 points left. I would like to have tech up to B. So that would give me 3 points left. Medical aid, I can leave at a D because I don't think we're going to be trained from an analyst's point of view for that. I will bump up insight. I'll spend the last 2 points, or I guess I have 3 points. So I'll spend 2 points on insight to make it rank B, and then 1 last point for maybe a little bit of manipulation. So we'll bump that up to C. And everything else will be rank D for us. So I'm pretty confident that we can still have some fun with agility and the rest of our empathy stuff. Because remember, all we have to do is roll a 6 or higher on any of our base dice, and we succeed. So it is possible. Now, unfortunately, since we're a rookie, we don't get any bonus specialties to start with. So that means we get to move on to rolling for our key memory. So we have a series of 5 tables for memory. And what we're going to do, we're going to roll for each of the tables and then read the prompts and come up with something that way. So our first one is memory table number 1. When did it happen? A D6 is a 6, so just a few weeks ago. For table number 2, we need a D12, and our number is 11. So in a foreign land surrounded by crowds speaking a language you didn't understand. For table number 3, we'll also need the D12, and our number is a 9. So masked, who was there? Masked killers. Really interested to see where this is going. So another D12 for memory table number 4. We have a 3. You witnessed a natural phenomenon. So we have masked killers and some sort of a natural phenomenon. All right, for table number 5, we will also need the D12. How did it make you feel? 8. Bold. Wow. That is very peculiar. So a few weeks ago, we were in some foreign land surrounded by crowds speaking a language we didn't quite understand. Also, there were mass killers involved and some sort of a natural phenomenon that made us feel bold. So yeah, that's a very interesting one. So next we get to move on to relationships. There are 3 tables for the relationships, all using the D12. So let's start with relationship table number 1. Who is it? 11, a doxy, so a replicant. Interesting. Relationship table number 2. What's your relationship like? A 12. Only in your head. Wow. And relationship table number 3. What's going on? It's in our head, so does it really matter? They have gone missing. Very interesting and peculiar at the same time, I suppose. Now we get our starting gear. So as a Blade Runner, we have the standard issue gear, which is basically a badge, a pistol of some sort, our Kia, and our special spinner. Okay, so it's listed right there. So we get all of that stuff, which is very important. I mean, don't lose your gun or else you're probably going to get fired, but still, keep that stuff safe. Next, we get to decide or roll for our Blade Runner home. This is going to be a D12 roll. We have a 3. A sparsely furnished LAPD housing apartment in Sector 5, small and claustrophobic. Page 111 for more information. Is that? Yeah, that's the standard apartment. So that's pretty cool. I believe that's also the one that's featured in 2049. So it says that we get D3 promotion points. So I'm assuming that I'm going to have to roll a dice for that. 1 and 2 is 1, 3 and 4 is 2, and 5 and 6 will be 3. We have 1 promotion point available to us at the start of this game. Humanity points, I don't think... Yeah, we don't really start off with anything like that. And we start off with -1 Chinyen points. So for the analyst, we have a D8. So we'll roll a D8 and subtract what we get by 1. So we have 7, so that means we have 6 Chinyen points to start with. So as an analyst, we do have some listed specialties here that we can choose from if we actually started off with specialties. These would be some of the things that would be good for us. In terms of an appearance, let's go ahead and roll a D3 for that as well. So same rules apply for the D6 roll. 6, so a 3. Your mom says you're a catch, so we look beautiful. That's awesome. And as a name, we're going to go with Johnny Rodrigo. Isn't that the guy from Starship Troopers? I honestly cannot remember. But there we go. Last thing that we would do is list our PKD weapon under our weapons and how much damage it does. And that's going to be somewhere towards the back of the book. Everything else is fleshed out here. I think I need to choose a specialty item. So in addition to your normal gear, you also have a signature item, a small item that's not of much practical use but has sentimental value to you and says something about your character. Your signature item is typically connected to your key memory, your key relationship, or both. Signature items can usually be carried, but they can also be stationary like a tombstone or a stool at your favorite bar. That's an interesting one because I don't really know how I can make it tie to something as unusual as being in a foreign land with mass killers and some natural occurrence. So I'm going to have to think on that one. But other than that, that's pretty much it for creating a character in Blade Runner. You just decide if you're going to be a human or a replicant. You choose your archetype, key memory, key relationship, and your skills and your attributes. And everything else is kind of already done for you. You can just roll off of any of the tables there and just go with the flow, I suppose. So that's going to be it for this video. Feel free to leave a comment down below. Give this video a huge thumbs up to support this series and subscribe if you would like to see more. I will see you guys in the next video.